All right, well, you're for a little bit of a treat. Our dinner speaker tonight is Tyrone Griffin, and he's no stranger to RUMC, although he says he lives in some part of Alabama, but he really lives in Georgia, so he'll let you figure that out. But Tyrone has a topic that he's been a speaker here, and it's called Bunny Slippers Are Evil. So if you kind of get a feel for his personality a little bit, you're on target. Tyrone is a professional speaker now. He's a professional podcaster, and I think you're in for a treat tonight. Welcome, Tyrone Griffin. Tyrone.
Did everybody hear me? Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Jay, for that great introduction. Thank you for inviting me back, and thank you all for giving me a few minutes here. Real quick, got to do my commercial. My podcast is the Bunny Slippers Are Evil Job Seekers Call-In Show every Saturday from 10 to 10:30. If you go to bunnyslippersareevil.com, you'll see it there. It's free every Saturday, so please come out and listen. If you can use anything I say, please take it. First of all, and also, this program is great. I know I'm using my time, but this program is great. And I encourage you, when you land, please come back and volunteer here, because this program, I used to be sitting in those tables as a volunteer and as a participant. So when you do land, please don't forget the people here and this program. So please come back and volunteer. Tonight, real quick, let me say my first prayer is, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. Basically, I hope you can use what I say. Real quick, my story is this. Back in 2005, I moved here from Connecticut. Me, my then wife, and my son moved down here for a job. It was a great job, and it went from about a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10 to about a -2 in about 6 months. You know, everybody heard the word reorganization? Yeah, I came down here with promises, and 6 months after I got here, they did a reorganization, and it all went, it was a mess. So, bounced around from there. I had been one company, I was there for 18 years. Okay, one company. And over the next 3 years, I was with 3 companies. That's how bad it was, because it messed me up. So, emotionally, and what I'm talking about is not the financial aspect, although that was a problem, but it was the emotional aspect of being laid off, of being in a situation that's so bad. Okay. After 3 years of just bouncing around, I was actually laid off, and I spent a little over a year in transition. My then wife didn't work, so we had nothing coming in. Transition is not physical, it is mental. Okay, it's dealing with transition. I always say this, transition sucks. Let's just be honest about it. It sucks. Just admit that. But it's how it affects you. And you don't realize how things affect you. It's like when I was out there in transition for 15 months, I spent every day going out looking for jobs. My office was a Panera Bread. Every day I went to Panera Bread looking for a job. You know how people say you don't tell your friends that you're looking for a job? My son was in the 7th grade. He never knew that nobody was working, because I felt like, why tell him? There was nothing he could do about it. So I went to work every day. He saw me get up, got dressed, went to work every day. Didn't tell him I was out of work till I landed. But that year, over a year, when I did finally land a job, I felt like, looking back on it, I realized it was like post-traumatic stress. And I don't say that lightly. I've never been to war, but I don't say that lightly, because it was, during that time, transition was so, you don't know sometimes you don't know where your next meal is going to come from. You're afraid, and in your mind you're thinking, I'm going to be living under a bridge sometime. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose everything that I've worked all these years for. You don't talk to anybody about that, but that's what's in your mind. And I'm not trying to bring everybody down. I'm really not. But my thing is this. Let's be honest about how we feel. Okay, when I started doing the podcast and I started going around and speaking at different events, it was because nobody was talking about how mentally it was affecting them. Believe me, I look at your faces and I remember that same look. You come in and everything, you smile and you greet people, and you go home and you're alone. And you have to think about this stuff. But anyway, what I want to tell you about tonight in the next few minutes, after I got back to work, I landed in a job, and okay, it was a job. And this is how it affected, can you hear me? Okay, I hated that job, but I wouldn't leave it. You know how I had my work life was in shambles, my personal life was falling apart. I was just going through the motions. Every day, just going to work. But I literally and truly hated my job. And as time went on, they started to hate me too. That's what it is. And one day I came into work and, I'm not going to ask for show of hands, but, think about how many people have been on that performance improvement plan, and, I was checking with my boss every day, how am I doing? And, oh, you're doing great, you're doing great. And then all of a sudden you come in one day and they schedule a meeting for you with HR and it's like, oh, I'm going to get off this plan. And I sat down, the boss said, yeah, it's not working out, we're going to let you go. Now, this is where God steps in. He stepped in a few times, but I got let go at 9:30. I had a second interview that day at 1:30 that I had already scheduled. The interview came from a recruiter came looking for me because, again, I wouldn't have left. And I would have been hung out to dry. But God stepped in. He stepped in when I left the company I was with for 18 years. I was getting let go on a Monday. I knew my end date because that went bad. They didn't like me either. See a pattern here. They were letting me go on a Monday. And that Friday before that Monday, I got a job offer. That was God. So anyway, I got that job. I left there, went back to a company I'd been laid off from, stayed with them 7 months, and then found the job I'm in now, which I cannot say how thankful I am for my job. But the thing is, what made me realize, because a couple of weeks ago, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to say to you people, you know how we tell our children to be great? You know, we try to tell ourselves in the mirror. You get up in the morning, you look in the mirror and say, I'm going to be great today. But then when we talk to God, we only ask God to be good. We ask God, how many people in here have asked God to just provide for your needs? Not anything great, just, Lord, give me my needs. That's all you've asked for. You're wasting your prayers because God already said He will provide all your needs. So if you're going to go to God, ask Him for something great. Ask God to be spectacular for you. Ask God to be awesome. Don't ask Him to be good. He's already going to give you all your needs. But see, this is the mindset you kind of get in when you're in transition is you get humble. I remember when I was in transition, I would go to Walmart in the middle of the night so I didn't have to see anybody, and to see the people stocking the shelves. And it's when you're working and everything's great, you don't see those people. But when you're out of work, you envy them. It's like they got a job. So you get very humble. And how many people have said, okay, I'm just going to be the nicest person I can be. I'm going to try to help everybody I can, and then maybe some goodness will come to me. Those are the kind of things you start thinking about. You start saying, okay, I'm just going to be super good, and then something will happen. But when you say to God, God, just give me my needs. Just give me a little bit. And if you trust God and if you believe Him, He's already done that for you. He's already going to make sure. Okay, so maybe you lose your car, but you have a way to get to work, or you have a way to get to your job search. He provides for your needs. Maybe you don't have a car, but there was somebody who brought you here tonight. So He's providing for your needs. So ask God to be great. Ask Him to do great things for you. And expect it. Hold your head up high. Expect greatness. And then work for it. See, because prayer without work is a waste. Don't say, God, I'm going to ask you for a Lamborghini, and then I'm going to sit back and watch TV till you deliver it to me. It doesn't work that way. Number one is expect God to be great for you. Number two, work hard. but expect yourself to be great. I know you're probably thinking, I'm in the bottom of the barrel. I got nothing. Remember, transition is mental. It's not physical, it's mental. It's getting up every day and saying, you know what? Yesterday was not my day. Maybe today will be. Transition is about whenever that call comes, to be ready. My mother used to tell me, don't know when opportunity is going to knock, so try to always be standing by the door. You don't know when you're going to get that call. You're going to get that offer. You're going to make that connection to somebody else. So always be ready. The hardest thing you got to do is stay upbeat. That is the hardest job you have. I'm not talking, I was talking to Al Smith earlier, that song, Tears of a Clown by Smokey Robinson. And you know how you put this smile on your face and inside your heart is breaking? That's the hardest thing in the world, to keep smiling. But it's harder to smile inside. It's harder to get up every day and say, you know what, I'm still a good person. No matter how I ended up here, I'm still a good person. I am not what these people thought of me. They let me go for whatever reason. That's their loss. And you got to keep thinking that it's their loss. You are a good person. Don't ever stop thinking that you cannot do extraordinary things. That is the hardest part of transition, to keep your head together. Right on time. I mean this. Just keep going. No matter who tells you you can't do it, you got to believe in yourself. If nobody else, and I've had conversations with people when their family didn't believe in them, when their family looked at them. How many people come home and their spouse is like, "You get a job today?" Okay, I've been there. Trust me. We got to eat. I've been there. I've been driving to a job networking meeting on the highway, and you look around, you realize, man, everybody else on this highway on 75, sitting there in traffic, everybody else is going to work. It messes with you. It messes with you. Don't let it weigh you down. Believe in yourself. When nobody else believes in you, believe in yourself. Somebody gave me a plaque and says, believe when it's beyond reason to believe. You got to keep believing in yourself, no matter what anybody says, no matter what happens. If you get 100 no's, go for the 101st. But go for the 101st like it's the first. Again, I thank you for your time. I wish you all the best of luck. Just keep your head up and keep going. Thank you.